My hair looks awful, but my mind is a raging torrent. I've got to talk to you. I have to tell you something because I feel guilty. Okay, so in my last video, I said that my late husband could be mean, could be a bully. And that's true. Dennis could be a prick, but he was my prick. And I could be a you-know-what, but I was his you-know-what. Now, neither one of us wanted to divorce. He was never married before, and I was married once, and he felt very guilty about that because of Christian ethic. You're not supposed to remarry a divorced woman. But because my ex-husband broke our covenant, which was he slept with someone else when I was back at home trying to heal from the wounds he gave me, I felt the covenant was broken. That was back then, okay? This is now, and I don't go there. So, Dennis was an abused child. So was Jay, my first husband. We're going to talk about him another time. Dennis was an abused child. And really, really abused. I mean, not only was he whipped by his mother, beaten by his father on the same offense, and then sent to his room with no food. I'm not making excuses, okay? I'm saying he's been through a lot. It's probably why we connected like we did. We identified with each other's lives. One time I said to him, I expected a really romantic answer. Denny, why'd you fall in love with me? Why'd you marry me? He said, I wanted to rescue you. Well, there I was as a child, always looking for Prince Charming to save me, and there he came, right? Now look, Dennis would go after me mentally because he had felt so abused and cheated in his life, okay? I understand the workings of the mind because I've read a lot of psychology books and Bradshaw and the Family and all kinds of stuff. Who were those two Christian guys? Happiness is His Choice, and I don't know, they wrote a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, I read a lot of books and I understood where he was coming from. And Dennis never hit me. Never. One time he threw a wallet at me, but it missed. And I won't even tell you what I did. When we first got, okay, I'll tell you. When we first got married, I brought my first husband with me in my mind. And when Dennis would get angry and he'd come forward, I'd bop him. Yes, I did. I'd bop him right in the face. It was like this insane, instinctual action. It was like I couldn't help it. Well, I'm sorry I'm laughing. I'm just thinking back on it. It was really insane. The last time I did that, he said, you ever do that again and I'm calling the police. Well, then I had to try to take my rage from his mental abuse and bring it to another room, and he would follow me. He would follow me. You apologize. No. You apologize. No. And then finally, I got so sick of him following me around, telling me to apologize, I'd say, I'm sorry, but I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm laughing about it. It's really rather tragic when you think of it, but when I look back on it, I just gotta laugh. Laugh or cry, right? So, you know, I was no angel. I had a sword. Yes, let me try that again. I had a sword that was a two-edged tongue. I had a tongue that was a two-edged sword. I could cut you like a knife. I could shred you into pieces. My father once said early on, I was about 14, and he said, you should be a lawyer. I don't think that was a compliment. Sorry, Dad. If you're around and you can hear me, oops. And if you're a young person listening to me, snap out of it. Parenting is not easy. It's so hard. It comes with no manual. You read Dr. Spock. Well, he was wrong. and then you read Dobson. I think he was wrong. And then you read all these other writers, and they were all wrong. Each child is an individual, and you got to treat them as individuals. And if you're a parent and you're listening to me and your kids don't talk to you, write a letter. Say, I don't remember what I did. I really don't, but I'm really sorry. Whatever I did, I'm sorry. Those 2 words, they work magic. I really meant it, though, when I had to apologize to my kids. It was sad. I wanted to cry. Sometimes I did cry, and I'd say, I'm sorry. And sometimes I still, when we start talking about something, I say, I'm sorry! Because it hurts to know you're human and you screw up. So while Dennis, and you know what, I want to say, remember that little adage, the little poem? There was a little girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. And when she was good, she was very, very good. And when she was bad, she was horrid. Well, while Dennis could be horrid, when he was good, he was very, very good. He could be so kind, so understanding, so accommodating, so generous. He also was very stingy, but sometimes he was very generous when he was doing well financially. And, you know, I've been through a lot of crap. You're going to start to understand why I can't believe there's anything in this world but us. There's a part of me I don't want to tell you about, and yet I do want to tell you about, because I know a lot of women out there, you're suffering. Think about it. 1 out of every 4 young women has been sexually assaulted. Think about that. Now, it's starting to be the same with boys, too. Holy Moses. It's my opinion that an adult offender who cannot be rehabbed, honestly, should either be put on an Alcatraz type situation or be put to death, which I think would be more compassionate for victims and offenders. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. You don't have to. I might change my mind someday. Change my mind, okay? So I just wanted to clear the air with my baby. I loved my baby. I loved him when I'd be up half the night because he said something so horrible, and we went to bed that way, and I'd be like steaming there with my head on the pillow, and then I'd have to get up and go make myself a cup of tea, and then I'd have to walk back and forth and be really angry, and for 3 days more after that I'd be angry and I wouldn't talk to him. Made him think, though, didn't it? Let me show you a picture. This is the one I've showed you before that's next to my bed. He took my girlfriend. I'm so glad he did. He took my girlfriend from Idaho on one of her bucket list trips. She flew into Maine, and what a generous man. I mean, think about this. He took me, Kathy, my daughter Bonnie, and me, and we went on a whirlwind trip through New Hampshire and Vermont, and she got to see the places in Vermont she always wanted to see with her sister, but her sister died of cancer. She has cancer. I haven't spoken to her in a long time because she pissed me off. Oh, well, maybe someday I'll talk to her again, but right now I'm just not ready. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I will talk again about another aspect of obesity, and that is sexual assault. Sometimes when you've been sexually assaulted as a child, you start eating for the comfort, but I think there's a subconscious mechanism that says, if you're fat, no one will want to do this to you. So stay tuned. I'm going to talk about really sensitive things. Remember what I said. If you're going to watch me, you're going to get the good, the bad, and the ugly. With a little bit of humor, because that's the kind of person I am. Okay, bye.